A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. And this channeling is for the divine feminines who have been in a long separation, and they also could have been in a false twin. That is not a confirmation, but they could be. So those of you who have been in a false twin relationship also will resonate to this. I will include them too. And I have been receiving these messages since 2019 actually, but finally the whole picture is complete. This channeling is about a divine masculine, a divine feminine, and the mother figure. So I want to say this, that in this channeling, I see that the divine masculine's mother really likes the divine feminine. And this has happened after she did inner work, which means that after the long separation or during the long separation, this divine feminine, she worked on herself. She healed the inner child. She healed the wounded inner child. She healed all those areas of her life which were related to patriarchy wounds. Because of healing the patriarchy wounds, her relationship with the masculine improved. It became better. And after that in itself led to a big change in the vibration, in the energy, in the way she was thinking, in the way she was attracting. She also learned about the law of attraction, not in a way that I want all my desires to get complete, but what we put out to the universe, that is what we receive back. So if we put out love, then we will receive love back. And this divine feminine was always very scared of not getting acceptance by the divine masculine's family. This was also one major reason of the separation, because she thought that the differences are too big, and due to the differences they will never be together, it would never happen. And it would, though she really loves the divine masculine, she really loved him, and he also really loves her. It's like the energy that I'm getting from these two people is like a lot of solid love, and a lot of respect, a lot of love. And it's like every time they talk to one another, even if they've known one another for a long time, they always talk as if they're meeting for the first time and they're flirting with one another. That's the vibe they give when they look at one another. It's like the divine masculine is extremely attracted to her, extremely. He just cannot get her out of his mind and his system. She's a part of his system, his DNA. And they could be having physical differences or other differences from the society perspective, or like we have in the twin flame scenario, but they both feel like one group, like one person or one energy or one, they feel very singular. But they also went through a lot of separation, many different separations, and then there was a long-term separation. And during this long-term separation, the change that happened in his mind came through because of the separation. Now I also see a big possibility or a presence of the karmic energy which was there. And it so happened that when they were going before the separation phase, when they knew that they are the one for one another, both of them, when they realized that they love one another, there were way too many fights, too much tension between them, because obviously she did not know at that time that she has a lot of these wounds, and she has to heal the narcissistic family template. She has to heal the ancestral curses. She was not aware about that. So she was always acting out. Every time he would question her that, do you really love me? Or would you do this for me? And then there was a lot of sexual tension between them, which also led to this confusion that, does he really want me, or the body, or the soul, or what? Now, for both of them, this question was very prominent. This question that, is this person really in love with me? So now that you are in separation, a lot of you, and now that you are in no contact situation or no communication situation, you are trying to figure it out, and you're very sure that you do love the divine masculine, or he is the one, but you feel helpless because now he's not even willing to talk to you. He doesn't want to do anything to you, with you, for you. But back then, when you were in communication, at that time, The divine feminines were not very sure. They were constantly unsure about this guy, and they were putting him on test. And this is falling to be correct for many people. So how it all begins is that they meet. The first time there is no problem. The first time when they meet, they are very sure. He is very sure, she is very sure. But the past wounds which are hidden in the subconscious mind, which you don't know, and you won't know that easily. For that, you need to do the inner work. That's why every genuine healer will tell you about the inner work. They will tell you that you really need to get into it. It cannot happen without that. Because even if you feel that you're doing everything correctly, things are happening only on the surface level. The wounds are actually very deep in the ocean. So when you're swimming on the surface level, you don't see the things that are underground, that are underneath the water, the surface water. Similarly, other wounds, they are hidden in the subconscious mind in different layers. And the reason why a lot of divine feminines also have to choose a karmic, because divine feminines are very skeptical in choosing the karmic, but to progress in the journey, some of them have to do it. It also happens organically in many cases. So when they choose this person, karmic, they actually do it because they feel that the divine masculine did them wrong. And instead of understanding her side of story or her pain, or why there is so much irritation and anger, he simply blocks her, or he chooses to go away from her. If he doesn't block her, because in many cases there is no blocking, but there's an energetic block. So block is happening energetically. It's not always, because you may be blocked in one place, but you may be unblocked in other place. Maybe he's also stalking you, but he simply doesn't want to talk to you. And you are thinking in your head that finally, this realization that he is the divine masculine comes later on, when he has run away. So you have to also give him that leeway, that you also did behave in such a way that it made him run away, clearly. And this is not about blame game, or this is not about guilt. This is simply understanding that we are imperfect in many ways, and we need to heal our wounds, because he doesn't know that you had these traumatic experience in the childhood, or you were healed, or you were abused. And even if he knows, then he cannot enter your body. He cannot enter your soul or enter your mind. We are all individual entities. So this is a very aware divine feminine who went through all the stages, right from the first stage to the second, to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth. And finally, she came to a point, she came to a conclusion that in order to heal the relationship with the divine masculine, she has to heal her own self fully first. When she heals her own life, when she heals her own existence, her own template, her own body, soul, mind, everything, then only the things between him and the divine masculine will get better, will improve. Because he is simply mirroring the wounds, at the same time he is mirroring the love. But the love is less because the wounds are very strong. Now, another thing that was happening in this case is that the divine masculine was talking with his mother. He was sharing a lot with his mother, which is not a wrong thing to do. If you have a close bond with your mother or your father, you can discuss your relationship with them. So he did speak about this divine feminine, but back then they were having a lot of friction. And this friction was also causing a lot of trouble for the divine masculine, because he had already taken a long time to come to terms with the fact that he loves her. And this happened after their separation and coming back, separation and coming back. The on and off and the runner-chaser dynamic was already into play. So at first he found her, he fell in love with her, he was deeply in love with her. But he was always scared that she might not love him back the way he does. But with all the separations and coming back, he realized that he keeps going back to her. He keeps coming back to her or going back to her. Now that made him realize that there is something he has with this person, this divine feminine, that he does not have with anyone else. Because with other people, he had breakups and he had the flings and they got over and he doesn't care. Also, he never really got into so many serious committed relationships. For him, it was always about one fling to another, one fling to another. So he could move on, though he had the pain of rejection, which was a very deep wound and it was there since childhood. But he was more like, okay, I can get over anyone. I will go out with my friends, I will do what I love, and it will be done. But with the divine feminine, he was like, I don't know why I keep thinking about her. I fight with her, she fights with me, she screams at me, she goes mad, crazy, I cannot control her. Then I say mean things to her, she says something to me, and he feels that she is no less. She is equally his match when it comes to getting angry, having a temper, or doing all these things like running away. He feels that she's a total match, because though you think that he's the runner, but when these long periods of separation happen, like a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, a year, 2 years, then he realizes that she is equally solid in terms of not coming back to him. So if he can give her the silent treatment, she is also very much capable of doing that to him. So that's how he eventually realizes that he wants to go back to her, he thinks about her, he misses her. So I have very clearly specified who this channeling will resonate with. This is not going to resonate with people who have just met one another or recognize their twin, or they are in the on and off stage, or they are in the runner-chaser dynamic. No, this is only for those people who have been in this journey with all the stages. Now these stages can also play out for you, for anyone specific, in a shorter period of time also, but there will be this playing out. So what had happened was, how does the mother come into the picture, is when he was going through this push and pull and this uneasiness with her, he discussed about her with the mother, and he discussed with the mother specifically when he was extremely upset with her. He just could not handle the way she was treating him, or the things she said to him, and he just thought that, I cannot take it anymore. So he spoke to his mother, he was very angry, or the mother asked him, hey, what's up with you? Why aren't you enjoying? We are all together, we are doing this fun activity, but you are like sitting in your room, you're sulking, or you don't look happy. So he would just say that, I really like this girl, and it's been a while, I have not talked about it, but it's been a while that, for initially it was for me to understand whether I really love her or not. But now that I am very clear about it, it seems that there is always something going on between us. There's always some kind of issue going on, and I cannot take it anymore. So hearing what he had to say about the divine feminine, because both of them were unhealed at that time, the inner work was still going on, she said to him that she does not seem to be a good person for you. If you're feeling so bad being with her, if you're constantly under pressure, you don't feel uplifted, you don't feel loved, then you should not be with this person. She does not seem to be good for you. She seems to be a bit toxic. Now this is what the mother said, looking or hearing at what he had said, and all the trauma, all the pain that he was going through at that point in time, which is right before the long separation. So I am going to end this part over here, and I will connect with you, and I'll proceed further in the next part. One love and peace out.